Ed Bales advises prisoners and their attorneys on how best to navigate the prison system. Okay, Ed, with a guilty plea, a 150-year sentence, obviously, once again, that he's not going to serve 150 years, nor can he. He'll probably be more like 20. So does that suggest now he will be in a medium facility, a medium security facility? And what's that going to feel like? This is after he leaves the MCC.
Basically, I think we're still at a borderline situation here. He could either be in a medium level security, or he could be based out of a low security level. I think that camp is off the course for him. I think he's looking at minimum a low security facility, probably maximum a medium security facility, and neither of them are like a federal prison camp.
So if you were going to get me ready, I'm Bernie Madoff, and let's assume he's going to go to a medium, and I call you in, or Ruth hires you, or whoever is using that funny money to hire people to help them now. What's my life going to look like? What do you tell them?
Well, this is an unusual case because most white-collar people go to a federal prison camp, or usually at maximum a low security facility. So when you're going to a medium security facility, what we'll do is we'll present to you pictures and show you what some of these areas look like, the cell itself, meal areas. But he right now is in what they call an administrative level, and he'll most likely be in a segregation, which means that he will be by himself. I don't believe that they'll be assigning him a cellmate at this point in time. Everything is just so fresh, and there is so much horrible presence around him that we're not sure. And I think the Bureau of Prisons, I spoke to people earlier about this, and basically their thoughts are that, you know, they don't want to see any harm come to anyone, and it's a situation where that may happen. It may be inmates may want to be in a situation where they want to take out their frustrations on Mr. Madoff.
Ed, what sorts of inmates are in a medium security prison? Who will his colleagues be?
Well, his colleagues aren't going to be very pretty people. They are going to be people who are in for murder, rape, child pornography, gangster-type individuals. There are people in this facility that are in there for life.
So, Ed, going on that, you have to assume that he is going to be isolated. There's no possible way they're going to, I mean, if the law states, as you said, that they have to protect him, that they are going to kind of let him be playing basketball, if you will, or rolling around with rapists and child pornographers and violent criminals.
I think for at least the next 3 to 6 months, he's going to have very limited contact with the inmate population for those reasons, as well as he still has not been sentenced yet. He's got to go through a process where he's sentenced, and then after he's sentenced, there's a phase called designation, which is where you are actually, where you're going to be finally spend the rest of your time, your incarceration location. So he's going to be designated. That's going to take a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks as well. So during that time, I believe he's going to be fairly segregated. He may get an hour a day out into what they call a cage area,
right,
where you actually get some freedom, but very limited.
Ed, in the prison hierarchy, in the system, you know, I'm sure inmates, they rank each other based on the crimes they've committed. Where would a perpetrator of a multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme fall if we're talking about child pornographers and rapists and murderers? This is company.
Well, they all have their levels, but in this case, it's so far-reaching that, in accordance with the economic conditions of today, I think that a lot of people are going to feel it from an economic standpoint. Their families are out there working, lost their jobs, and they're going to blame him for some of it. So
Ed, real quickly, before we go in 20 seconds, if you were giving him advice, if he hired you as a consultant, what would you be saying to him tonight?
I'd say stay to yourself, keep to yourself, and don't let the time do you. You know, make sure that you keep to yourself. He's going to need to stay by himself and keep as best as possible.
Thanks, Ed. You know, Melissa, we've been reporting this. You really think about now